Good afternoon, all. It's a great pleasure for me, as a member of this great institute, to be here with you to represent our dear President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. I know that the time is well spent, so let me just go straight to the address of Mr. President. Your Excellencies, the Vice President, ably represented by our own dear Dr. Fashua, FCA, Your Excellencies, the Deputy Governor of Jigawa State, Alhaji Aminu Usman, the distinguished senators, members of House of Representatives here present, honorable ministers here present as well, the Royal Highnesses, my dear father, the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, as well as my Kabiesi, the Oni of Ife. Let me now use this opportunity to also recognize the 61st ICAN President, Malam Aruna Nam Yaya, MNI, PhD, FCA, the President, International Federation of Accountants, IFAC, the Chairman, Body of Past Presidents of ICAN, the Vice President of ICAN, Ajia Kunslin Segosimen, MNI, FCA, the revered past president, here present, and also those of them joining online, the Deputy Vice President of ICAN, other members of the Governing Council of the Institute, President of Sister Professional Institute from within and outside Nigeria, representatives of all the professional accountancy profession here present, the Registrar, Chief Executive, ICAN, distinguished guest speakers and esteemed discussants, panelists, captains of industry, members of the diplomatic corps, development partners, esteemed fellows and associate members of ICAN, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I thank the leadership of the esteemed institute for the invitation to address the 55th Annual Conference of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. Your institute is more than a professional body. It is one of the pillars of Nigeria's socio-economic development with a deep history ingrained in our country's developmental strategy. I salute the founding fathers, Chief Akintola Williams, FCO Koka of blessed memory, and others for their vision. I congratulate the current leadership and all members for upholding the founding principles of integrity, objectivity, and professional competence, and for their unwavering commitment to advancing our nation's accounting profession over the decades, which has contributed immensely to national growth and development. The 55th Annual Conference presents an opportunity for ICAN members to recommit themselves to professionalism, excellence, innovation, and leadership in accounting, governance, and sustainability. I expect this conference to deliver actionable insights into how the accounting profession can leverage emerging technologies, adapt to regulatory environments, and promote best practices aligning with national developmental priorities. I am deeply delighted with this year's conference theme, which is Building Resilience, Aligning Reforms for Nigeria's Development, which is both necessary and timely. As a nation, we continually find ourselves navigating a period of profound domestic and global disruptions. It is therefore in moments such as this that resilience must be viewed as a strategic necessity, not just a concept. The team reaffirms our shared responsibility and collective resolve to strengthen Nigeria's economic foundations and governance framework. Resilience demands sustainable practices that entail thinking beyond immediate gains. It is generally considered to be the ability of individuals, institutions, and nations to absorb shocks, adapt to challenges, and emerge stronger. In Nigeria, economic downturns, the global pandemic, fluctuations in oil prices, insecurity, and structural imbalances have tested our resilience. Over time, Nigerians have demonstrated extraordinary tenacity, innovation, hard work, and hope in overcoming all challenges. Therefore, resilience must be supported by robust and adaptable systems that can thrive in uncertainty. My administration is fully committed to building institutions that work, drive reforms that matter, and foster inclusive and sustainable development. Our people are our greatest assets, and with its vast human and natural resources, Nigeria has demonstrated remarkable strength in weathering global disruptions. Secondly, we are aligning reforms for Nigeria's development by embarking on reforms aimed at transforming our economy and improving the lives of Nigerians through economic diversification, human capital development, social protection, infrastructural development, and private sector growth. To align these reforms with our developmental goals, we must foster a culture of innovation by encouraging entrepreneurship, research and development, promoting transparency and accountability, ensuring prudent management of public finances and resources, enhancing security and stability, and ensuring a safe and secure environment for citizens and businesses. Since we assumed office in May 2023, we have taken deliberate steps to stabilize our economy, promote fiscal discipline, and stimulate inclusive growth. We have reformed our tax systems, removed unsustainable subsidies, improved the ease of doing business, and implemented digital solutions to plug leakages in public finance. We crafted our landmark Nigerian Tax Reform Act of 2025 to modernize our tax administration system for fairness, efficiency, and increased revenue generation to fund priority developmental projects. The law will broaden the tax base by eliminating overlapping taxes, creating a more business-friendly environment. It will also enhance tax compliance through digital platforms and strengthen taxpayers' rights via a dedicated tax ombudsman. It also includes adjusting tax incentives to stimulate investment, especially in manufacturing, agriculture, and small and medium-scale enterprises. By abolishing multiple exchange rates, businesses can forecast accurately and assess the foreign exchange required to drive their business growth and expansion. The reform has boosted foreign investment in the country and eliminated arbitrage and corruption in the foreign exchange market. Our administration has put in place robust mechanisms to improve the educational and human capital development of all Nigerians. For example, we introduced a student loan scheme to ensure access to higher education for all Nigerian youth, regardless of their background. We have equally reinstated history as a core subject in schools and review our school curriculum to emphasize entrepreneurship, digital literacy, and civic education. This administration has invested in numerous infrastructural projects, including the 700-kilometer Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road and the Sokoto-Badagry Highway. By implementing the National Integrated Electricity Policy, we aim to decentralize power generation, transmission, and distribution, and above all, attract private sector investment. Furthermore, our government has put in place measures to improve social protection and welfare of all Nigerians, which was demonstrated by the increase in the minimum wage from 30,000 to 70,000 naira, and the implementation of the cash transfer programs providing 25,000 naira monthly to 15 million households, as well as business grants of 50 billion naira in nano business grants to support entrepreneurs. To further improve security and governance, strengthen the operational capacity or capability at our various entry points, and facilitate business, we have introduced biometric passport application and e-visa initiatives to improve security and streamline travel processes. Our government remains committed to fiscal discipline by blocking leakages and ensuring prudence in public financial management. The Office of the Accountant General of the Federation is committed to transforming public sector accounting practices through continuous training for Treasury officers across MDAs. This aligns with global best practices, utilizing the Federal Treasury Academy as an instrument. A forensic personnel audit and skills gap analysis will also be conducted as a deliberate strategy to ascertain the actual strength of all Treasury officers for proper manpower planning, effective career management, and merit-based deployment service-wide. Accountants are the frontline agents in embedding sustainability into the fabrics of Nigeria's economic landscape and adopting sustainable accounting practices as a regulatory compliance and as a strategic imperative that will drive public and corporate organizations to entrench fiscal discipline and accountability in managing financial resources. ICAN members must continue to lead in integrating best practices towards positioning Nigeria at the forefront of sustainable economic management. For governance to be effective, it must be accountable to the people it serves. Accountable governance encompasses responsive and responsible leadership, robust and incorruptible institutions and systems, guaranteeing checks and balances. Nigeria's development agenda will only succeed when the public and private sector uphold the highest standards of accountability and transparency. Accountants contribute to this through their role in financial oversight, compliance enforcement, and public policy advisory services, ensuring that extra naira is accounted for and every public financial management process withstand the scrutiny of accountability. A transparent and accountable governance architecture is crucial for reducing poverty, expanding economic opportunities, and promoting social justice. My administration, through the Office of Accountant General of the Federation, is committed to supporting you. We are intensifying efforts to build capacities, automate processes through various public financial management reforms, besides TSA gimmicks and IPPIS, as earlier mentioned, like the audit modernization, bottom-up cash policy, electronic assets register, revenue optimization, the review of the Finance Control and Management Act of 1958 towards meeting these challenges of the 21st century, upgrade of the facilities and curriculum of the Federal Treasury Academy, Orozu, Abuja. Collaborations among government, industries, and professional bodies should be strengthened to foster an environment that supports transparency, combat corruption, and spur inclusive growth. As we reflect on the theme of this conference, I urge every Nigerian, particularly the accounting fraternity, to adopt the principle of sustainability, transparency, and prudence. You are the custodians of this trust. You are the architect of the systems and the guidance of the figures that either build or erode our economic resilience. Your work is foundational to making Nigeria a place where resilience is not accidental but engineered. To the private sector and civil society organizations, I call for partnership and vigilance in ensuring that governance mechanisms honor the public trust. Together, we can build a future where economic shocks do not derail our progress, governance becomes a beacon of integrity, and every Nigerian prospers in a sustainable and equitable nation. Distinguished professionals, as we celebrate at this conference, I want to remind you about my administration's ambitious vision to propel Nigeria's economy to $1 trillion milestone by 2030 by fostering job creation, providing access to capital for businesses, promoting inclusiveness, and strengthening the rule of law. This goal is not merely aspirational, but a call to action for all stakeholders, including accountants, financial leaders, and policymakers. By embracing sustainable practices, transparent reporting, and accountable governance, we can unlock the growth opportunity, derive innovation, and build a resilient economy that benefits all Nigerians. I thereby call on all ICAN members and all professionals gathered here to first champion financial transparency and discipline in all sectors. Secondly, to support our national development plans with correct data-driven insights and expert advice. Third, to collaborate with the government in designing and implementing people-centered and forward-looking reforms. And the fourth one is also to invest in the next generation of leaders by mentoring young professionals and promoting innovations in the accounting profession. This becomes imperative as we are at the pivotal stage in our national journey because the decisions we make now as citizens, professionals, and leaders will determine the Nigeria our children will inherit. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let us not leave this conference with only an idea, but let us commit to resilience, reform, and development of our great country. Nigeria, I urge ICAN to continue leading the charge in promoting ethical conduct, advocating for sound financial reforms, and supporting policies and programs that guarantee long-term development. Never forget that the integrity of our financial reporting depends on you. The success our public sector financial management reforms depends on you. Likewise, the confidence of foreign and domestic investors also depends on your professionalism. On this note, I declare the 55th Annual Accountant Conference of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria open. Thank you all for your attention. May God bless all and continue to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.